Hey, we're back here at the West Life webcast. Thanks again for joining us. We want to give a big shout out and a thanks, appreciation to Wesleyan Investment Foundation. We affectionately call it WIF. They are huge sponsors. They're the main sponsors for this event. And I would just say to you, some people don't realize that with the Wesleyan Investment Foundation, you have private accounts. You can set up your own WIF account. And so one of the things that my wife and I have done is we have a WIF account where actually every week just a little bit of money goes directly from our bank account to theirs. I would recommend this if you have children, grandchildren, especially doting grandparents. When that grandchild is born, open them up a WIF account and systematically put money in it. And then when they're 18, when it's time for them to go to college, you can gift that account to them. So again, thanks so much to Craig Dunn and his wonderful team at Wesleyan Investment Foundation. Heath.
It only takes $25 to open an account. And speaking of accounts, we are joined now by Reverend Scott Rhyno, who was just named yesterday, breaking news, the Chief Development Officer for the Wesleyan Church. Scott has been serving at Kingswood for the past several years and has really taken them to another level as far as admissions and marketing. Scott, congratulations, and the whole world wants to know, what are you going to be doing?
What is this job?
That is the big question for sure. What is this? One of the best things about going into a position that no one's had before is that you're not filling anybody's shoes.
Right.
The other side of it is there's no pathway or footprints to follow either. Right. So pretty excited really to step in and kind of dream about what this actually could look like. It's kind of coming out of or over the generous living movement a little bit. And what I was more attracted to even more than the position description, because the position description is still a work in progress, is the vision that Dr. Lyon and Dr. Drury and others have had for the position, which is really to find somebody who can kind of play point. We have a lot of amazing initiatives already in the Wesleyan Church with Hope and Holiness Foundation, the One Church initiative that we just launched, the Wesleyan Emergency Relief Fund, and of course all of the work that we do with global partners. But everyone's kind of on their own, doing their own thing, and so to bring somebody in at a place of authority that can kind of begin to bring some similarity in messaging and branding, and be able to kind of pull efforts together so that all the boats rise internally at the same time as part of it.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'm really excited about, and I think a big part of what we did at Kingswood that was so effective, was that we also want to position headquarters more so to be able to serve the church, local church specifically. And how do we help local church pastors and to inspire their people toward giving, to kind of raise the per capita giving even in our local churches in a way that transforms our local church's ability to live generously even amongst their own community. And so I'm excited about helping to inspire people toward that. And that's kind of the vision that's kind of really caught my heart in the whole thing.
Let's talk about you personally. So what kind of timeline do you have here for transition?
Well, this has been kind of a bit of a whirlwind. I resigned feeling a prodding from the Holy Spirit back in the end of March without a plan from Kingswood. And so kind of was the first time in mine and Elizabeth's ministries where we really felt to step out in faith.
Wow.
And so shortly after that, we were approached to consider this along with some other things. And so we've made the decision and gone public, obviously, yesterday.
Yeah.
So the kids and everything are excited. We're hoping I'm going to be kind of taking on the title officially August 1st. And we're going to be working at selling our house in Canada and on the immigration stuff and that kind of thing. We actually served in the States before, so that helps to move things forward. So rather than having to wait like 5 or 6 months or longer to be able to get here, within just a few weeks, I can actually kind of get my immigration rolling and hit the ground.
So you're trading the beauty of that part of Canada for cornfields in Indiana?
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah. It's going to take a little longer drive to hit the ski slopes in the winter, I think.
Got that right.
No more 10-minute drives to the ski hill for the afternoon with the kids.
One thing we were talking about last night was, because of this live stream, you've had, this just was announced, and you've been talking about a lot of donors and Kingswood alumni are finding out through the live stream. We are literally breaking news that they're blowing up your cell phone and asking you, about what you're doing.
I should say I'm sorry to those who I didn't tell ahead of time, because we were keeping things to our cards pretty close to us until then.
I think it really shows. I think, like I said, in all seriousness, from the time of Dr. Gorveatte being at Kingswood and now to Dr. Lennox, you really did just absolutely raise the bar. Kingswood is leading the way in a lot of ways in the marketing of our Wesleyan schools. And so to hear, especially you describe what you're going to be doing, that's exciting, because you're talking about something that in conversations at a place like this around tables, man, it'd be nice if we had somebody that could kind of mobilize all this and make it all happen. And then to hear that you're the one doing it is absolutely amazing.
Thanks, man.
Now, you guys have been in ministry. You're moving, kind of getting off topic, but I'm excited for a local church that's going to get you and your wife there.
Yeah, we're excited. Elizabeth has been the director of worship, as you guys know, at Kingswood, and has just done an incredible job at mentoring young worship pastors, giving them a real theology and heart for worship, but more than that, a real love for the local church, and that's been her real heartbeat. Does some songwriting with some Nashville writers. So this is going to be a chance for her to step into the local church again. She's very excited about that. So we're looking forward to having the opportunity to be boots on the ground again and kind of journey with a community of local church believers.
And there's just, I'm thinking just all these things happening. You guys come in, I guess that's going to be the Crossroads District.
Yeah.
They're doing so many church plants that it's just going to be, the Lord is moving.
Yeah. It's pretty
He
awesome.
is doing something. So, like you said, you're the first person to ever have this job. No pressure.
Yeah.
How would you ask people to pray for you?
What I would really appreciate people's prayers. Obviously, on our transition, a lot of details to sell a home in Canada and then to get down here. But beyond that, really, I'm excited to have the opportunity to dream, especially about how we as a church help support our missions efforts. I've been kind of on the sidelines, and I support a couple of local GP missionaries, but been kind of frustrated sometimes. We've got guys that are slugging it out on the front line, and they lose $400 or $500 a month, and we pull them back. So they've got to. So, if you want to pray for me, be praying that God will just give me creative ideas about new business models, about how we fund what we do already, but also new initiatives about how we can connect and inspire local church people and denominationally, how we can just learn to live generously. I mean, as I've kind of been contemplating this, obviously, the last couple of weeks, to think about the fact that generosity is a major characteristic of how we pour ourselves out and express holiness.
Right.
It's so obvious, right? It's not just about money. It's about
the
time,
DNA,
talent, treasure.
With John Wesley himself.
Exactly. So, just be praying that I can be creative, to have eyes to see opportunities and to meet the right people so that we can open the right doors. I really think this is a big bridging position where I'm going to begin to travel and recognize needs in the local church, needs in the global church, and then meet people that God has already placed with a heart for those things and resource to help it. So I really making the right connections, having the right eyes, hearing the voice of the Lord, and being able to move the ball forward for all of us is what I'm excited about.
Well, speaking of making connections, when we're done with this interview in a minute, I'm going to have Tony take you over and introduce you to a guy named Bill Foster, because he's doing some of the things you're talking about. And another thing we've been doing, talking about raising money, okay? Yesterday we spoke with John Lyon, President and CEO of World Hope International, and we put out the $20 challenge to celebrate 20 years of World Hope International. And I want you to know, somebody actually used the hashtag Heath made me do it, so that there's no confusion about who's to blame for all this.
Nice.
So if you go to worldhope.org/give, I believe, or donate, just go to worldhope.org, go to the donate page, take a screenshot of your $20 donation, tweet that out, put that on Facebook. We're just trying to create some momentum to honor, Dr. Lyon's service, but also to honor, this seed she planted in World Hope, which has made such a huge difference around the world. So you're watching this on YouTube right now. We need you to go and subscribe. And Matthew has a subscribe graphic, a YouTube subscribe graphic. So now, as you're watching this, you don't even have to get off the page. Boom, bottom left-hand corner, click that button. That'll subscribe you, not just for General Conference, but from now on, any video posted, it'll come right to your inbox, and you can find out about what's happening in the Wesleyan Church. Another thing, Wesleyan.life, the digital home for the Wesleyan Life magazine. Corey Pence just walked into our booth. They have done a wonderful job of making this the best online magazine in the world, read by Wesleyans. And just it's great on mobile devices, just great stuff, good work. Wesleyan.org, keep up with all the news. There's a great article there about Scott and his family and this transition. Tony, real quick, we're getting ready to go into still discussing membership.
Yeah, we're still in the thick of that, and so I anticipate there's going to be much more discussion on that, and we'll just see. I mean, we're trying to take a lot of constitutional stuff and move it to statutory, and it's a big deal. So.
And Tony's written a book on the difference between Constitution and statute.
I did want to mention this. So that's the #1 publication in the world, right?
Read by Wesley.
Yeah, and I learned that from you. And I also learned that our crowd is about 7 billion.
There are potentially 7 billion people watching us on the internet right now.
Hey, they're getting started, so we need to wrap it up.
Hey, thanks to Scott.
Cool.
Keep
Thanks,
watching, and we'll see you soon.
Guys are doing a great job.
Thanks.